Hi, this is Steve Garland, head wrestling coach at the University of Virginia, giving my weekly Virginia wrestling video newsletter. I wanted to hit on two things today. I wanted to go over an idea that we came up with in our program that we're really proud of, and I wanted to share that with you guys. And then I also wanted to cover our training regimen and where we're at now in the season in terms of purely from a training perspective. I think those are two pretty just important topics I wanted to cover with you guys this week. First one, the idea we had within our program that we're just so proud of, and we hope as we walk through it's going to bear fruit within our program, and it's this. Coach Lean had the idea this summer to come up with a leadership council where instead of just doing a typical captain's model, we took it a step further. And the six sort of main life attack areas we want our guys to be focused on as they go through in the Virginia way is mind, body, academics, relationship, servanthood, compete in such a way. And so what we did was we picked one guy from the team that exemplifies those character traits, that exemplifies excellence in that life attack area. And so for mind is Andrew Atkinson. For body was Will Mason. For academics was Chris Yankovic. For relationship, we had Zach Watson. For servanthood, we had Pat Gillen. And for compete in such a way, we had Nick Herman. And we placed these guys in there for two reasons. One, we wanted to hold these guys up as role models, as for our younger guys especially to aspire to want to be like. You know, we all want to look up to somebody at 18, and we want them to look up to these guys and see what they're doing, see how they're living out their lifestyle, and learn from those guys. And two, to that point, we wanted them to be, a consultant of sorts, to be able to build up and help guys that come to them for help. If one of our freshmen is struggling academically, he can go to Chris Yankovic and say, Chris, you've got a 3.5, you seem to do everything right, what's your secret? And it's amazing the practical advice Chris can give, because it's not like he's doing anything extravagant. He said, well, I block off this hour during the day to work, I block out that hour day to work, and here's what I do extra, and I'm meeting with Coach Garland to talk about internships ahead of time, I'm proactive, not reactive, things like that. So we have an extra set of eyes, ears, and help for our guys. So we're just really excited about that. We want to empower our leaders, and we want to make sure that they're learning as well through this process. And so by the time they leave here, they're going to be able to use the things they've learned and experienced as part of this leadership council in their homes, in their careers, and in their communities when they leave. So we're really excited about that idea, and I'll keep you guys posted on how that's going. The second thing I want to talk about was our training component, our training regimen. I've been talking a lot about how I feel like this has been the best preseason. I feel like we're in such a great spot, and I feel like things are going so well. Well, I felt like I probably needed to explain that a little bit more. I felt like that's easy to say, right? And I'm sure every coach around America is thinking that right now because nobody's had to wrestle yet, so everybody's feeling great. So let me sort of explain more detail what I mean by that. The way our system is set up is Coach Gavin is in charge of it. He's designed it and he's implementing it daily, of trying to do the best job we can of not just teaching our athletes, but transforming their bodies during this crucial time period of strength and conditioning, and just making sure that we're getting those positive life habits drilled in every single day. So by the time we compete on November 1, we're a completely different program. So our typical week, and I'll run through quickly. Monday mornings is an individual on-own workout right now where our guys are going in, and they're just focusing on one area, one attack area that we've already discussed with them ahead of time in their vision meeting. This is what I'm supposed to be working on to get better that day. It's like a tutor session, basically, a one-on-one session where they can improve their wrestling skills. Come back at 3:45 with Coach Everett, who's phenomenal, and we do a great lift, strength conditioning session in McHugh Center. Tuesday morning, 6:30. Every Tuesday morning we do sprint workouts. And conditioning workouts. It'll either be a sprint workout or a hill workout, and Coach Gavin runs that. They come back in at 3:45, and we do organized, team-structured technical development. That's the sole focus. By NCAA rule, we're allowed to do that now, so it's a big plus. And the system he's been implementing is started with all the basic fundamentals from hand fighting, head position, and down blocking, and moving into the other core concepts we all need to know. We pride ourselves, hopefully, and the vision is that we're going to not force a square peg into a round hole. We're going to take what the gifts the guy has when he comes in and try to maximize those gifts and not try to make him something he's not. But there are core requirements everybody needs to have in collegiate athletics, and that's what Coach Gavin's specialty is, or what he's specializing in right now with our team. Wednesday is an active rest day. It's just a lift. Thursday is the exact same session as Tuesday, where they do 6:30 sprint work, 6:30 conditioning, 3:45 team technique. Friday is just a lift. And then actually in the morning they're allowed to come in on their own as well. So they're doing 2 on Friday. Saturday is another change we made in our program where we're doing game day, where they come in, and we did ultimate frisbee one day, we swam another day. There's just different things they could. Last week they all got together. The leadership council organized a group gathering at the AFC, and they just did whatever they wanted to do at the AFC for an hour, just cardio for an hour. So it's a way for them again to have a little bit more autonomy in their training and have a little fun. That's where we're at, and I can't give you much more because that's our sole focus right now is that and buttoning up recruiting, and I've been talking a lot about that, so I'll stop there. Thank you guys for all your support, and we'll talk to you next week.